Check, check, check. All right, good morning. All right, let's see if we can get this figured out here, because I blew up my microphone yesterday. And what I mean by that is I broke my boom arm. If I could show you what I did, dude, I got this really nice Yeti caster boom arm that's supposed to be the best. And I unscrewed it too much yesterday, and guess what I did? I blew it up. So that sucks. So now it's like duct taped halfway across my screen and making life really difficult to see things. So give me 1 second. I gotta finish setting up my screen setup here because I got some new things to show you. Let me get this moved down over here. Oh, what do we got? We got that there. Need one of these. This goes here. And then we'll go with this one. This goes here. Goes up there. And then we need the options chain, don't we? Let's do this. We're going to use this for our options chain. No, we're not. We're going to use this guy here for the options chain, shall we? Oh. Here, and we need one more thing and we will get going. Sorry, I am a little late this morning. I have been sleeping better, which means that I get more sleep, which means that I have a tendency to be late some days, which is my own bad, my fault, my bad. We will get it figured out, I promise you. Okay, welcome. I'm Dark Pool Algo. Thanks for joining me. I am a smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm analyst, and I'm an options trader. I'm a day trading options trader that looks for divergences and tries to find the best competitive edge in everything I do. And I really love finding very predicted specific levels of options to enter. I got to work on that one. But basically, I'm trying to work on a catchy describer for the beast trade or beast numbers provided by predicted trades. Wow, I'm a little slow this morning. Just trying to figure out the best way to bring attention to them. It's got a flow though, you know what I mean? I can't just say that it's the optimal entry point for an option at a selected strike, right? I mean, that's the truth, and it's got to come up with a little bit more markety stuff. You know what I mean? It's a bit more markety stuff. So with that, let's see what else we got. I want to hop in. We have some news today. We want to get through that. We've got some plays from yesterday. The small account challenge will probably be starting in the next little while. Please be patient with me on that. I'm juggling a bunch of different things, especially at the beginning of the year. Dark Pool Charts is going to start growing exponentially. We're going to be expanding, modifying the website, growing the Discord, just to start providing more educational stuff, trying to assist traders and yeah, growth. 2022 is about growth. All right. I can't wait to finish out my bangs and actually get started drinking some other things. I hit Google yesterday a couple times, and I was pretty excited about that. Right? We hit Google. I'm currently in an mRNA trade, which is doing well according to my trade, I guess is the best way to say it. And what that means is that I was able to enter, and of course it sold off overnight. mRNA, like I'm really starting to get concerned about it. I thought that the 4-hour daily and weekly bottom would hold. I thought that was going to be our main level of support. Got a haircut yesterday. I should have just worn my hair. Should have seen this crazy hat I had, I don't know, earlier. I thought the 4-hour bottom was going to hold. I really did. I thought we were good at the 4-hour bottom, weekly bottom, daily Keltner channel bottom. This is like major areas of support. Every other time that this stock has hit it, it's bounced, right? I don't know what's going on. I hope I didn't back the wrong horse here, but we do looks like we may get a little bit more of a pullback on this sucker. 2275. I'm going to be getting out of that options trade that I'm in probably on any sort of rally to the mean. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you what I mean by that. Nope. Come on. So we're currently trading well below the 21-day EMA, right? Which is at, what, 270 or 265? We closed below point of control, right? And we're trading at about 1.5 ATRs away. So I drew this line, this support line here yesterday, saying we may actually come down here and kiss this level. If we do, I may average down on my contract, but this is the last level I have of support, and that's at 227.25, right? We break that, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to fully back Moderna anymore. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, just my bad. So with that being said, yeah, that was yesterday after the algo was pointed down. Yes, after the open and after it had already pulled back to support. Right. Before that, though, the algo was pointed up. Right. It's, yeah, I mean, looking at it from a larger support level, right? We got a demand zone right there, right? Pretty significant one, if you ask me, right? We got that demand zone. We've got downward trend line support that we're coming up into. I got a little antsy and I jumped into it. Absolutely. Because we were right at, let's just do this. Every time this stock has came down and touched the weekly, what has it done? It's bounced, bounced, bounced. Got a little deep there, big run back up to the 4-hour top, right? 4-hour top, you would expect to either go through or pull back to the mid, right? Which is what I expected it to happen. I waited till get in till it pulled back to the 4-hour bottom. So I'm in a decent position, right? It's just that I didn't, this was a good setup. It's still, it's may even be a better setup today. But like I said, if it cracks that last little trend line that I have for it, which is 22.77, there's room to the daily bottom. You know what we need to do is we need to look at this one. We need to look at this one because I'm thinking that the Kelts on TradingView are calculated differently. Yeah, they are. So here's the play, right? I saw that we were downtrending in the morning, right? We opened at the mid. I was like, okay, it's going to go to the bottom, right? Because that's what they do, right? I got in around here, so I'm not like death, it's not like I've got the worst position in the world. We held the daily bottom and the 4-hour bottom. We came down, we dipped down into the 4-hour bottom here. So this 227.50, right? So we've got the daily bottom here. This daily bottom is like massive support. Okay. We're either going to get a gnarly bounce play or we're going to move all the way down here. Oh, I don't have the weeklies up. We're going to come way down here to the weeklies. So it's just how Moderna moves. Like I said, but let me back this up. So I took 2 Google trades yesterday and a Moderna trade. The 2 Google trades paid for the Moderna trade. So I'm technically in it for like $50. That's fine. I'm okay with that going to 0. Okay. Why? Because I cracked Google 3000s, which is like an ATM, right? If you can get Google on any of this pullback, those Google 3000s, right? They'll go $1.50, $2 to $2.50, $3. You can make $100 just on that one trade in a move like this kind of move right here, right? That's why I like them. All right, enough said. Let's do this, shall we? Morning. Who's here first? Johnny, good morning. Terry, good morning. Shen, do I have any China stocks on my watch? Maybe we can look at them. If you have one that you're interested in, I can definitely review it. We regularly trade JD, Baidu, Baba. What's the other one? JD, Baidu. Oh, Futu and Baidu, JD. There was another one. We regularly trade them. So if you have any Chinese stocks that you're interested in, let me know. I'll throw them up here in FlowTrade and we'll get a good analysis of it. Okay. All right. I am behind and let's just do this, shall we? Sirius XM is downgraded to equal weight from overweight at Wells Fargo. I want to use this guy here. Siri downgraded to equal weight from overweight. Should continue. Like I said, it's for our bottom. If it breaks 628, it's going to fall off the face of the earth. Warner Music Group announced an $8.56 million share stock sale by Access Industries affiliates. So now this one, see the difference between Moderna and this? It's in difecta and it doesn't have any support. It's coming down to the support. So if you want to short Warner down to 39.50, be my guest. Okay. AT&T and Verizon have done 180 and have agreed to delay the rollout of new 5G services following pressure from Transportation Secretary yesterday. So here we go. Big old rally yesterday, pullback, continuing rally. AT&T, it has the most room to move. And because it's just been in a massive downtrend, right? I was getting concerned about this stock. This stock is a $25 or excuse me, $30, $35 stock easily, right? But it's been having some problems since the middle of this year. Like, you want to see COVID lows? It's below COVID lows, right? So I've been loading. This is a great dividend stock too. I've been loading up on AT&T in my son's account because it was trading at about 35.40. The COVID low had it down to 26. It currently went all the way down to about 22, right? Yeah, it hit what, 22. I think I got in around here for my son's little dividend account, but AT&T is making its way back up. Slingshot squeeze, it's got a dividend day coming up on the 7th, so expect it to drop by about 50 cents on that day. But look at this, rally, bull flag, breakout. It's got the 200 as its next step at 27.63 or 27.50. That's a $3 move. You can make easily a couple $100 off of AT&T. I think it's going to get a continued rally into the next couple of weeks. This is a strong move, right? It's the weekly mid right now. Has good news coming out. Verizon. Yeah, so somebody came up and asked me yesterday, hey, if you have a phone older than 2016, it's going to stop working tomorrow. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, phones don't work. I'm like, is that because they're going to roll out the 5G? And does that mean my phone's not going to work? Do I have to be 5G? Because I'm not. Maybe I need to switch over. Verizon, nice little bounce off the 4-hour bottom, hit the mid on the way to the 4-hour top, daily mid at 52.53. If it can crack 53, right? So 52.90 to 53.25 is one move. Above that, then we get super woody on Verizon, and we're up to the weekly top at 55. Verizon's super strong like bull, right? Very strong stock. Major resistance that it's coming up to. It's got to get through that. If not, it pulls back to this mid, forms a nice cup and handle, and then you get that nice move into the next couple of weeks, okay? Elizabeth Holmes, a former Theranos CEO who promised to revolutionize medicine, but whose company collapsed under the weight of its misrepresentations, was found guilty of fraud yesterday. Bye, Alicia. Enjoy prison. Novartis. Novartis said in a U.S. appeals court it has upheld the exclusivity of its multi-sclerosis blockbuster drug, Gilead. Novartis. What do we got going on here? So it's coming into weekly cloud resistance, right? Smacked right into it, pulled back to the mid. And this is about a $2 move here. Looks consolidation wide. If you want to put an alert above 88.56 for a move to 89, and then above 89.50, you'll get that trifecta massive rally move. Contrarian, it can pull back to 87.50 and then as low as 86.50. So this one's a good range bound stock if you're interested in it. And then finally, Jazz Pharmaceuticals said that the FDA granted orphan drug exclusivity for its treatment for adults with hypersynomia or whatever that means. Nice move yesterday coming into yesterday for our bottom. This is a perfect entry to the 4-hour top, daily top. Now, if we get above the daily top at 113.50, it becomes trifecta. Well, I'll just get super bullish. Now remember, I'm going to bring this down to the 15-minute chart so we get a little bit more crispy action. It's coming into resistance here. This 4-hour and daily cloud has been a resistance before. Remember, see what happened last time? Couldn't get through it. It pulled back to the 4-hour bottom. Can it get through it, or does it pull back? Can it get through it, or does it pull back? I had to change my screens around, so usually I have my stuff over here. Today I got it over here. Right, so what's the move that we'd like to see? So 4-hour bottom to 4-hour top. 4-hour bottom, top. That's the move, or this is the move. And then we get a really, really, really big move, right? And then this goes way up here somewhere. Okay. That's Jazz Pharmaceuticals. I've never played it, but okay. Investors are set to demand about 2.2 billion euros from Bayer as part of a possible class action lawsuit in Germany over the takeover of US seed manufacturer Monsanto. Ooh. Interesting. Elena Pharmaceuticals. Something about its gout drug. This was a nice move yesterday. Yeah, you would have loved to have been an investor then. You sold at $1. If you're riding this stock at 50 cents and it hits $1, you're dumping it, right? Penny stock, not playing it. Marathon Mara said annual Bitcoin production increased 846% year over year to 3,000. Oh, Mara, look at you go, girl. All right, so Mara is currently on its way to the 4-hour mid. Mara above 34.17 hits 36, right? Above 36, a little bit of resistance at 37, but then it can definitely move way back up to where it needs to be at 44. Let's look at Mara on the daily. That's Marriott, sorry, Mara. From highs at 84 just back in November. It's just kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. It is downtrending. This could potentially be a 1, 2, 3 reversal, double bottom. It made a higher low. So today's a really important day for Mara to see if it becomes a downtrending stock or if it becomes an uptrending stock. So we have this level here. Right. Is that a good color, or should I use this bright ass green? Maybe gotta use the bright ass screen. All right, so you see what I see? So pull back, support. Do we get a 1, 2, and then 3 reversal above the 200? Keep in mind, Mars currently trading below the daily 200 and daily 50. So what I was saying is today is very important for where Mara closes. If Mara can close right above yesterday's low or above yesterday's high, right? So if it can close up here on point of control, right? Then it could be a reversal play in the making, right? But if it closes below and makes a new low, it can get super duper ugly for Dasmara. It's got support at 30. If it gets anywhere below 30, I'm going to dip by it for the long term. I mean, beginning of the year, Mara at $30. It's either going to go to 10 or 50 by the end of the year. All right. U.S. spot steel prices declined 8.9% over the past 2 weeks, lowest level since May. In the latest steel monitor, according to BMO, you can watch companies such as X, CLF. CLF looks pretty decent. New, right? New's the only one above the daily 5200, right? This is definitely an uptrending stock coming into consolidation. High compression squeezes, just had its dividend, got run into earnings, getting ready to come up. What happens to previous earnings? Looks like it just kind of consolidates into earnings and then explodes, sells off into earnings and then explodes, consolidates into earnings and then explodes. Are we seeing a pattern here? Sells off into earnings and explodes. What do we do with this stock? Let's write it. Let's put it on our list. Somebody who wants to take notes today. Somebody needs to take notes for me, please. Someone needs to take the notes. Like new run to earnings is consolidating now above. Ooh, I just had the best deja vu. Oh, what was it? One of these is going to explode. X US still. Oh, I can see this. Right. What does this tell us? Has earnings. Only trades about $1, but look at this. Waiting for that 50, the purple, or the waiting for the blue to get above the red, the 50 above the 200. Then we can get a move back into, previous 26, 27, 28, right? We smacked into the top yesterday. This is slingshot high compression squeeze on the daily. So this is a daily chart. These orange dots are high compression squeezes. When those release, we're going to get at least 8 to 10 periods of extended release on that, especially if our moving averages are stacked positive. Let's check it out. Let's find out if they are. I mean, where's my moving average chart? Is this the one? This is the one. I should just use this chart. It's got everything I need on it. All right, so X, trying to get stacked positive moving averages, 13, 21, 34, high compression squeeze, ready and fire, getting ready to release, right? And we're currently coming up into the daily cloud, which is, I don't have the 250 on here, which I'm going to add later today, but if we can get above, let's just say above 24.33 on X, then I think we hit 26, 28. X looks good. So any of those steel stocks, right, are going to, I think it's going to be pretty good opportunity to dip by those. And then the last one was what, CLF, right? This one's a little bit more volatile. They all move about $1 a day. Pretty safe entry if you just want to learn how to trade or run into earnings, right? You buy the 27th, or you buy that week's expiration at, the mean, which is 24. You could probably get 26 by the option, get that rally into earnings. This is a good example of a slingshot squeeze. These squeezes have not released yet. So this black one turned into red, which turned into orange, which fired here. Got a little bit of explosive growth. Yeah, that whole sector is good. Yo. All right. Someone's taking notes for me, right? Sweet. Okay. I'm going to start moving through these really quickly. I've got about 5 minutes to stay on time, right? Honeywell downgraded to neutral from outperform, right? This looks like a potential inverse head and shoulders forming. We need to give it a couple more weeks. We had the 250 crossover, and it just is dragging price action down with it. We do have a squeeze getting ready to release. Got earnings coming up on the 28th. Resistance at 212, or yeah, 212.50. Currently trading at point of control. So this can go one of two ways. It can either come down and make a lower low, right? Or it can pull back to 200 and complete the right shoulder. So we do get an inverse head and shoulders for a larger move later in the year on Honeywell. GE is upgraded to outperform from neutral at Credit Suisse. Again, another inverse head and shoulders forming. Slingshot squeeze, getting ready to release. Currently trading right above the 21 EMA. Got the 50 above it at 99, at 100. Psychological level, 50-day moving average. Point of controls at 102, right at the 200-day moving, simple moving average. Okay, $2.50 ATR. Let's get a little pullback, and then like we could look at GE probably next week, right? We might get a little pop to the 50, and then get a pullback to, you know, right around 92, and then that would complete the inverse head and shoulders. How do I want to? I wish. I think the easiest way for me to draw these is like this, right? So this is what an inverse head and shoulders looks like for anyone who does not know, right? So there's the left shoulder. Here's your head, and then we would need a right shoulder to form. And what that means, what happens at that point is then we get this explosive move up. Right? You want to go long above this neckline here. Right? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I know that some people are just getting into it and they may not know all of the technology or the terminology, so I try to educate whenever possible. Okay, moving on. This is big news. Sports e-commerce company Fanatics has acquired sports trading card company Topps. If you're old school like me, you remember Topps as a kid. Terms of the agreement are not available, but industry sources put the deal at north of $500 million. And Ford, a lot of you like to be playing Ford lately. This is just a momentum rally, McRallier. Ford is planning to nearly double the annual production of its electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck at the Rouge electric vehicle counter in Dearborn to 150 trucks per year based on high number of advanced reservations. Did I back the Rolling Pony in Ride? I think it's got a better looking truck. I don't like Ford. Every Ford I've owned has broken down on me. I've had a Chevy and haven't had a problem with it for 8 years. So this has got a lot of volume momentum rally. This is just in Ford is just going off the chains. Now we have to be a little leery because I'm seeing something here that I just want to make sure everybody sees, right? Come on, dude, for real. All right, you see that? That's overhead resistance. It's also, oh, do I want to take this as a learning opportunity for, so I'm not going to say that's the megaphone. I'm going to say it's more like this, simply because this was a little mini inverse head and shoulders, right? What happens when we get up here? Well, we have to follow the cycles. Like if we were to follow cycle theory, right? We have to Like it can melt its way up, right? And that's only a 22. That's a $1.50 move over the course of a month and a half. Okay. Put an alert for the next time it comes down and touches the 50, right? And then look to get in there. Don't try to buy at highs, please. Okay, Coca-Cola. Upgraded to buy from neutral at Guggenheim. Coke's been doing a pretty good job. I mean, it's got a lot of energy. I'm going to be doing some t-shirts. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Check it, yo. I need t-shirt ideas. So if you have any t-shirt ideas for t-shirts, sweaters, hats, what else do I want to do? Maybe a mug, right? I've got the hookup with the manufacturing company now. We're going to start doing some apparel. If you have any t-shirt ideas, send them my way. I've already got, let me tell you what I have. I've got Wu-Tang Wednesday, or I've got Woo Wednesdays, because I can't use Wu-Tang because that's trademarked, but Woo is not. Woo Reversal is another one. I've got White Lines Are Fun. And then I've got, I'm going to Miami. So if you have any other ones, let me know. And then we'll get those up on the list. Coca-Cola upgraded. I feel it's kind of extended. I'd like it to pull back to the 21-day EMA right at this 57.50. So pull back on Coke to 57.50 for a longer move to the upside. No squeezes. Has earnings coming up. Healthy move back to the mean. Then rally into earnings is what I'd like to see on Coca-Cola. Okay, that's it for the sectors and world news. In China, manufacturing PMI 50.9 above estimates at 50, previously at 49. So Chinese manufacturing PMI is up. Japan's manufacturing PMI is higher. So we may have a move in the yen today. And the White House is looking at nominating economist. That doesn't sound right. Economist. I'm an economist. No. Whatever. Philip Jefferson for a seat in the Federal Board of Governors. He's twice previously worked at the Federal Reserve, according to Bloomberg. Citigroup Apps Economy Conference is coming up. As far as events go today, earnings before the bell, none. We have some earnings after MLKN, SGH. I can't wait for earnings season to start again. We have weekly retail sales, Johnson Redbook weekly sales, and ISM manufacturing PMI for December. Now, those I don't really think will move the market too much. Just be aware of them. They're at 7:45 Eastern, which we've already passed. 8:55 Eastern, which is upcoming here soon, or pretty soon. And then at 10. Now, what has happened with my thing here? Get back over here. Got a little bit of an issue with TradeStation happening on that one. Okay. That's it. I just got this little last bit to you. Get your stocks ready. We're going to get going. Okay. U.S. stocks and futures are looking to trade higher today, with the S&P and Dow looking in to test all-time highs, while the Nasdaq's looking at outperformance after being among the top sector leaders Mondays. Investors look to put money to work at the start of the new year. Now, be careful, because Apple and Tesla were rallied yesterday. If they take a dump today, it's going to be a little sketchy. Do they rotate out of those two into Google and Microsoft and Facebook and Netflix? We have to be nimble, right? We have to be nimble. We have to be quick. Okay. Stocks rose on Monday as investors began betting that the economy could overcome the latest surge of the vid. That's not good for Moderna, but it's good for the world. Okay. Despite a spike in Treasury yields, as 1, 2, 3, and 5-year Treasury yields closed at the highest level since the start of the pandemic, and the benchmark 10-year rose 12 BPS to 1.62, higher again this morning. So that's TLT, right? TLT up, ES down. Overnight, US dollar yen rises above 116 for the first time since 2017. That's because of the news about PMI coming out, right? As the buck jumps in expectations that the Fed will boost interest rates 3 times this year. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index surged over 500 points to 1.77 to sell at 29,301, and the Shanghai fell 7 points to 3632. Hang Seng index was slightly up to 23,289, and in Europe, the DAX is up just over 100 points. Yay! While the FTSE rose, FTSE 100 also gains roughly 100 points, or 1.3%. That is good What that means is that the international markets are up. Okay, look at what happened. ES overnight, new all-time high. Not so bueno for the day traders. Very good for swing traders. Okay. In this section of the show, we will look at futures quickly. Then we will get into the plays. Got it? Sweet. Okay. As far as the chart setup goes, top row, ES, NQ, the Dow, and then the Russell, right? We like the top row up, bottom row down, right? Bottom row down, top row up. That's the way we like to make money. This is then bottom row is gold, crude, the T-bond 10-year, right? CL, ZB, ZB, and then the yen, right? I'm at the 30-minute. Let's crack the daily real quick, and then we'll look at this current ongoing contracts. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little hesitant. Now, there's two schools of thoughts. One, that we're overextended and we need to pull back at the beginning of the year so we get a rally towards the end of the year. The second school of thought is that we're going to blow off top at the beginning of the year and then have a crummy summer, right? Okay, so looking at the way that we're moving, with nice pullback, I said, hey, we're bouncing here. We're going to rally. We got 1, 2. Look for the third bar play continuation. Now all right, so where's my stuff, dude? Hold on. Where's my line? What? Hold on, I'm missing a study off this chart. Missing a study off the chart. My bad. Okay. All right. So I just wish I could make this line the color I wanted to. I mean, I need to reach out to him and see how he's doing anyway, but maybe he can color that for me. All right. This is a natural flow of, this is a natural trend of this ticker, right? This big purple line that I'm going to trade. I'm going to change to green so that everybody can see it, right? I'm going to make it huge, right? Everybody can see that. That is the natural ebb and flow of this ticker. And so this is the mean for deviations, not ATRs, okay? There's a difference. So this is the mean for the stock that they base prices and probabilities off of, okay? Trading at 2 standard deviations away from the mean is very bullish. Trading at -2 standard deviations away from the mean is very bearish, right? The ES back at the end of September, beginning of October, was currently trading at what, like 3 deviations away from the mean. That's not so bueno. All right, hold on. Maybe I've got that messed up. Just a second. Maybe I've got that messed up. 1 second. Nope, I have it. All right. So stocks feel more comfortable right at this level. So we've got a predictive road for us. Let me grab there's some data. Let me grab there's some quantitative data to show you screenshots of. But the stock market isn't flat. It's not a 2-dimensional creature, right? That runs at a 0 horizontal level, okay? It's a 3-dimensional, at least, right? It's a 3-dimensional being that usually trades at an angle, okay? I'll reach out and see if I can get some data, but like book map and heat maps and things like that, they do an okay job with representing like big bubbles of like buy and sell orders, but it's more, think Tron, okay, where you've got peaks and valleys because it's its own little world and it's not just flat. So you've got a box and you've got a company here and a company here and a company here, and they throw up these orders. So you're getting spikes of volume and traffic from different areas, right? And if you look at it in a 3-dimensional model, you'll see peaks and valleys. It's just I'll get some data, but what I'm saying is that stocks have a natural tendency to move in a standard, right? They got to take, the math of it is like, hey, this is where we base everything off of, and probable analysis. So we want to trade within 1 to 2 standard deviations. Okay, that's what this green line is going to represent. It's also going to be the purple line on other subsequent charts. So currently, see what we did? We rallied up, we pulled right back to it, right? We went to 1 deviation, we pulled right back to it. Now we're rallying up to move to possibly 1 deviation, all right? If we hit that 1 deviation and come back here, then we got to get, a little pullback. So what I'm saying is ride the wave, but don't buy at highs. Try to get either off of this mean or off of 1 or 2 standard deviations to the downside, right? Because it's naturally going to gravitate back upwards as long as it's uptrending. Okay, there's your little lesson for the day on the ES. I think the ES is going to continue to rally today and make a new all-time high. The NQ is following along in our pattern rather nicely. We've had this up for a little while. 1, 2, 3, 4 reversal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It bounced right off of the mean. That's what the purple line represents here. I got to stick with one color. All right, that's what the green line represents there. I'd like to see a continuation up. If we can break, like NQ's got the most room to move, so I'm going to be watching Google, Moderna, the big boys. Okay, nice little pullback, continuing on. Okay, the Dow, same situation. Oh my gosh, same similar situation with the Dow. The Dow, however, has broken above our little trading zone that we had set for ourselves here, right? Nice little supply zone. It's currently trading at the mean, right? And it's got room up to the 127. So I think the Dow hits 37126 with possible resistance at the halfway point, right? That 36,850. Right, so boom, Dow. I need to get a list of Dow stocks. I also need to get a list of Russell stocks, simply because I think that we start to get some rotation out into those areas because they have the most room to move, right? This is our Russell. Is it doing its job? It's following our path, right? Following the path that we'd set out for it. Currently coming up into that overhead resistance. It wants to move up to 2300. Above 2300, then we start getting pretty woody. 1, 2, 3 standard deviations away. We're pulling back. Okay. All right. And then finally, that's gold is making a head and shoulders. So I fully anticipate, see, I rejected our line there. It's going to come back down. I may look at shorting gold. I just have to confirm that it is going to be a head and shoulders and not an inverse. So we got to find our neckline and define it, which somewhere in there, right? We're coming up to it. Just be careful with gold. And then crude, it's the same kind of deal. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If it forms that, right, then expect crude to fall off the face of the earth. Talking below $60, $65 a barrel. We need that. And then ZB, which is TLT. TLT did break. Let me show you TLT in a larger one just because it did break out of its channel. Look at this. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Does it crack the neckline? Which I should probably spend a little bit more time trying to figure out where that neckline is. Change its color to green. So TLT did fail its upwards wedge, came right back down to support and closed there. Now what happens? Do we break that and continue down and we have a massive rally in ES today? We have to keep an eye on it. It's either going to bounce, rally, and be, or it's going to fail and come back down and we get a pretty big move on. So this is bonds, right? This is what, this is what they've been purchasing. Well, they're going to start tapering their purchasing, and it's going to pull it down. Okay. All right. And then finally the yen, which is downward trajectory. It's not really done anything different than what it should have. Do you see that line color? There it is. Trying to get all the colors of the lines changed for us. Trying to get all the colors of the lines changed for us. Okay, there we go. And then this one. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's what they look like on the daily, right? So let's go ahead and see what they're doing overnight. All right, they need to slow down, right? I like this being flat. I like this kind of moving up a little bit, but I'd like this, yep, pull back. Go ahead, come on, pull back. I'd like to open on lows so that we get a rally, okay? We don't want to open on the high because then we get the gap fade. So go ahead and pull back or just consolidate here for the next little couple minutes, and then we will definitely look at a pretty decent rally. Yeah, we need this to pull back. I should probably show you the 5-minute instead of the 2. There we go. So this is, I gotta put rollover line. So it is forming a head and shoulders overnight. This is the overnight chart here. I need to come back. Oh, it's sketchy. So NQ is forming an inverse head and shoulders. Also, yeah, dude, sketchy day. So we have to just be careful today, okay? Safety is probably going to be in the Dow and possibly the Russell. Yeah, NQ is going to be very interesting, and I don't trust ES. Okay, that's my impression. All right, let's get into the plays, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and write down what we are looking at for today here. All right, Johnny, you were first here. What do you got? Disney and Experian. Okay. Disney. Who was here second? Terry, do you have any requests? Not seeing anything. Morning watch list. I can do quickly Baidu, Baba, JD, and Futu. I swear there was another one. What was it? I used to do 4. All right. And then Laz, what's up, brother? Netflix. Ed, good morning. FSLR for sure. FCell, they just had earnings. See how they did. Watch list, you want to look at Facebook or PayPal? Facebook, what's up, Killa? Okay, that's kind of a big list, right? We're going to take a quick break. Okay, while I get some stuff prepared in the background, and then we'll get going. I read y'all the earnings about those 3 stocks, NUE, X, and CLF, right? They have earnings coming up and they're all set to explode. Let's not forget to look at those, shall we? Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. BRB, water break. There we go. I forgot my big old head was in the way. Who was it that said it originally? Somebody on this stream said, yo, your big old head's in the way. what do you mean? They're like, oh, over here in the gold. Okay. Y'all want to look at futures? 5 minute or 2 minute? Let's look at, I think 5 minutes pretty decent. You can see the lines. All right, we'll split the middle. 3 minute moves. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think 5 might be a better move. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be back in 5, so. All right, I'll be right back. Can y'all hear me? Also, let me know how the sound is, because if the sound works and I can leave my mic right here, then that's going to be kind of fun. All right. All right, I'm back. Yes, I had the crazy hat on earlier. Okay, sorry, we are back to school's back in session, so if it gets noisy, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't have a shortcut key to mute or anything, so my household's crazy in the morning. All right, let's get into the plays real quick, shall we? We are looking at the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. I'm going to use this one. Tough. All right, so looking at Disney. If you are new to the stream and you're not sure what you're looking at, this is the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. It tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart money purchases. It created its own algorithm called the Flow Index, and the Flow Index is a predictive leading indicator, which means that it takes real-time data and shows, and based on that data and the divergences that occur, we can see what price action is going to do. Okay, white bars are price action. The purple line is the regular algorithm line. 15 minutes. That. Okay. If I draw anything on the screen, I'll try to mark it up as much as possible, but blue lines are dark pool block trades. Red is regular, and white lines are fun. White lines are when there's a regular and a dark pool level that are printed on top of each other, and I cannot draw two separate lines. Those are major inflection points. Mark those up on your chart. See what happens when price action interacts with those levels. Okay, so I'm going to use this chart as well. Disney, EXP, PE, Baidu, and Baba. Okay, so same chart, same system, right? Just it gives me a little bit more control over my drawing tools, and it prints them a little cleaner. All right, so with Disney, price action is trading with the algorithm, right? We are coming up, looks like either forming a head and shoulder, so left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Currently, dark pool support at 156.76, 156.16, and regular block trade at 156.02. So what that looks like is this. Yeah, you know what? I may have to use the other one just for time's sake, right? Nice, strong uptrend. Look for that support to hold. We've got a regular block trade here. Got a dark pool block trade right above it. And then support right there. So if Disney bounces, the algo is currently uptrending, right? It's making higher highs and higher lows, right? And it's coming up to key resistance levels. So if the algo can break out of its little wedge, it can pull price action back up with it. Contrarian, if it rejects there and it pulls price action down below that regular and that dark pool block trade, then you can expect a pullback on Disney, right? Last 5 days. So like I said, the algo is uptrending, higher highs and higher lows, right? It's the same chart, just a few more block trades. 156.76 is resistance, 156.24.25 is support, and 155.92 is regular. So if it pulls back to these support levels, it should bounce. If it breaks them and takes out previous lows, it should pull back to the downside. However, the algo moving up, it should pull price action up with it. All right, EXPE, the algo is consolidating and price action is doing the same thing. So we've got the algo needs to kind of break out of its overhead. It's got to get out of this zone that it's in, right? The algo in a zone is just choppiness for stocks. Okay, we are slightly uptrending, a little bit of a bull flag forming right there, right? But you can see the price is just trading right with the algorithm. As far as from a block trade perspective go, we have a regular block trade at 181.14. That should provide some support. That's this level here. Seriously? All right, maybe a little pullback. I can't read those numbers. Dang it, that sucks. The algo is not connected to a y-axis, so it does move freely. See what I'm saying there? So I'm talking about trading with price action. Okay, so if we don't get the bull flag breakout, we get a pullback to lows at 181 with support at 179. Below 179, we come and test 174, 167, and there's a gap all the way down here at 162. Okay, Baidu price. We've got a little bit of bullish divergence. The algo is trying to make a little bit of a flag breakout there. Price action is definitely running into some overhead resistance. It is definitely a falling channel, so maybe we get a little bit of Baidu action back down to here. Definitely want to keep an eye on it. Okay, as far as block trades go for Baidu, we've got dark pool levels at 148, 83, and 69 with support at 147.47, and then downside targets at 144.44 and 143.50. So if this support breaks and we come back and we're in a down cycle, because remember, up cycle, down cycle, up cycle, down cycle, up cycle, down cycle. So 144 is a downside target. I think that's pretty easy for Baidu to hit. Baba, moving on to the next one. Just all over the place. The algo is trading with price action. It's not making higher highs, not making lower lows. It's not really doing anything other than resting at support here. Right, the algo is at support there. If that support breaks, and Baba can come test its right. Baba can come back down pretty easily down to the 116 level. If it bounces there, it might pull price action up. I wouldn't want to get into Baba unless it starts breaking. Is that 122? Baba above 122. From a block trade perspective, obviously there's going to be a massive amount on Baba, but it's just kind of right in the middle of a range. We've got support at 119.38, 119.38. Dark pool at 120.38, dark pool at 121.06, and regular at 121.44. Upside target would be this dark pool level at 122.99. Above that, things can get kind of woody, right? It would be free and it would fly like a birdie. Okay, next ones up on the list are Futu. I like Futu. Let's look at some Netflix, shall we? And FSLR. For solar, I like playing that stock, and FCell. I got some of those in the custodial account. My son owns shares of that. How did it do? And remember, it came into earnings. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Where I was like, oh, they had bad earnings. What do they do? Do they continue to fall, or do we dip by it here? Well, we'll get into that in a second. Futu. All right, so this is what smart money's been doing with Futu, right? They've been taking profits as the stock's been fighting its way back up. So we've got a little bit of overhead resistance there. We got a little bit of support coming in here. Is this support? Could very possibly be support at that level there. The algo is kind of flat. What I'd like to see, so this is 30 days worth of block trades, right? I'm going to move this down to 5 just to show you what the difference is. We have a regular block trade target coming in at 4302, right? So above 4302, so basically above 43, we can start taking out or testing the previous highs at 45. Let's see, rally back, pull, gap fill, All right, the gaps have been filled, right? So it can start its uptrend. This is pretty significant overhead resistance. Like I said, put an alert at 4302. Above that, I think we can start moving back up to the upside. However, the algo is consolidating. I'd like to see it start making higher highs and higher lows. Right now, it's just flat. Okay, Netflix. All these previous divergences have played out. This is a good example of divergence, right? So if we notice that divergence occurs here, right, where the algo is heading in one direction, right? See how the algo is net buying and price action was selling off? Well, that divergence has to play out. So if the algo is buying, you start looking for retracements or, you know, a reversal, knowing that smart money is flowing into Netflix. Well, that divergence played out here. If you would have got in down here, you would have played this move here as that divergence plays out. Okay, cool. Quick lesson on divergence. So currently, algo is trading with price action. It has not made a higher high yet. It's currently doing one of these here, right? It needed to continue upwards, but it didn't. There we go. That's probably a better one there. So as far as cycles go, if it bounces at this level and moves up, it can bring price action back up with it to approximately, I think that's where the divergence occurred first. So that's 610, 615 level. All right, as far as block trades are concerned, we have some magnets, right? This is a white line level, 507.37. I can't draw it on this using this tool, but we're right at a regular and a dark pool support level. Okay, if that holds, then we have a regular magnet target up here at, what is that, 612, right? So that'd be a pretty decent $10 move to the upside. If this $600 level fails, 597, 596, 597, if that support level fails, then we can definitely come back here and check out previous lows. That would probably be the algo breaking its support level there and dragging price action down with it. Okay, FSLR. Unfortunately, the algo is just trading with price action. It's currently pointed up. It's attempting to get right above its previous resistance. So if the algo can get above 90, right, it can pull price action up with it. You know, price is starting to make higher highs and higher lows. It's got some good support going on there. There's a gap that needs to be filled all the way back up here to about, what, 92? Right, so that would be our upside target, is that gap fill. Block trade perspective, that's the last 30 days. I'm getting really good at drawing these lines. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm getting real good at it. Block trade at 93.6, dark pool level at 93.16, right? That came in after the close on this day, right? So massive sell order came in, right? If there's any additional selling orders still left there, look for a pullback, look for a magnet to it, right? Hey, I want to sell some shares, come up and buy them. Hey, I want to sell some shares, come up and buy them, right? I've got some shares up here. Let me sell them to you. All right, price is going to come up to it, okay? 87.95 is dark pool support, right? That came in on the 29th in the middle of the day. So, right, here's where that block printed, basically. Could those be buy orders? Could very well possibly be a bunch of buy orders. Okay, so like I said, the algo's curled up. Price is making higher highs and higher lows. If we take out previous highs on FSLR, right? Oh, look at that nice little gap up. All right, so it gapped up to what, 91? So it gapped up to 91, which is about here. Right. Gapped up to there, target at 93.16. Above that, then you just play purely momentum. F-cell. So as you can see with F-cell, they were net selling. They had earnings. They missed on their earnings. Since then, they've been making higher highs and higher lows, right? They're definitely trying to uptrend. They just finished filling their gap, right? The algo is trying to break out of this little flag there. Okay, so if the algo can break out of that, I think it can pour price action up with it, and price has got some resistance. So as far as FSL is concerned, any pullback would be a good buying opportunity. I don't know if we're actually going to get one or not, but as far as targets go, $6, and then what level is this here? $6, then $6.75. Above $6.75, I think we can go up and target this $7.50 level. Right. As far as block trades go, look at that. That's a lot of retail coming in. Lots of retail coming in and buying, right? Buying at 4, 5. They've been buying since 525, 530, right? 550, and then finally 578. So if 578 breaks to the upside, you can target those overhead targets that I gave you. If it rejects, we've got support all the way down at 550, 530, right? Major dip buy opportunity and fuel cell. Like I was like, hey, buy it all, buy everything. All right, PayPal. All right, so we've got PayPal, we want to look at PayPal, Facebook. Jeez, come on. Let's try this again. PYPL. Thank you, Facebook. Affirm. NVIDIA. Don't let me forget to look at SE. SE's having a good day today. Okay. All right. The PayPal. So price action is just trading with the algorithm. I see a little bit. I see those bat wings right there on PayPal. So if the algo cannot maintain its own uptrending support that it's created for itself right there, which it looks like it might have broken, and if it fails to make a higher high and higher low, then I think PayPal might pull back pretty drastically, right? We're currently at a supply zone level here at that 196, right? We have support all the way back down here at 192. What is that? 190. Let's just call it 193. Trendline support is down here, right? So that's our trendline support down there. So the algo breaks down like it looks like it's starting to do. Might get a harsher pullback in PayPal. From a block trade perspective, let's see what we got going on here. Last 5 days, pretty decent rally coming up right off of 188.58. So, which is the one that printed on, let's see, this printed on New Year's Eve. So here, massive buy order came in, right? Pulled price action up. We have another retail buy order yesterday at the open, which jacked price up. We've got dark pool level that came in at the close at 194.40 or 194.94. If that was some sell orders, let's see, they're buying into it. So they sold this one. So they sold a bunch of shares there, buying into it. And then when did this block come in? It came in at the close, right? So with the algo downtrending, I just need to pay attention. We'll let PayPal shake out in the morning, and then we'll figure out where to go. The key levels, obviously, like I said, are 194.50, 194.94, and 193.36. Facebook. So they've been selling Facebook for quite a while, right? We had divergence that occurred approximately. Let's see, when did it occur? It occurred here. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. So we have two directions, right? The algo is selling and price jacked up, right? That divergence, I think that divergence may have been played out on that little wick down yesterday. So what I'm going to be watching from Facebook is I'm going to be watching the algo to reverse, right? And start making higher highs and higher lows, right? Also be watching for Facebook to break out of its overhead resistance that it's created for itself right there, right? A little bit of a wedge right there, right? As far as target levels go, as far as target levels go, we've got this one here. I can't see it. 341. Wish I could make that bigger. 341. There's a little zone. Little trading zone from 341 to 344. Above 344, it gets pretty chunky up to 360. Just watch what happens when this squeeze right here breaks. Does it pull back and fade off and, you know, get that big move to the downside, or does it rally? Okay. Block trades, obviously it's Facebook. There's going to be a bunch of them. Last 5 days, the zone, right? I'm getting really good at drawing these levels, right? 344.36 is overhead target. We have dark pole support at 336.75, 336.35. We got a white line at 338.50. So there's a white line. That's going to be your major inflection point at 338.50. Overhead target 339.72. And then 342.89. So 31st of the open. All right, so it looks like we gapped through this block. All right, so there's a block order that came in at the open on the 31st at 342.89. I don't think that order got filled because we gapped down through it. So there's our overhead target, magnet target, 342.89. I think price is going to rally up to that level. And then once those orders are filled, if it's a bunch of buy orders, we can get a move to the upside. If it's a bunch of sell orders, right? You know, did they see, oh, major gap down pre-market or at the close yesterday? Let's try to buy some quickly, or do we just want to continue to get out? With the algo at that point, looks like the algo is buying at that point. So it should be interesting to see. We're definitely doing a lot more data research on blocks that have not had an opportunity to get filled yet. Okay, Affirm. So Affirm is kind of a disappointment, right? I liked Affirm going into this week. Definitely thought we would be able to continue this nice little megaphone that it was forming, but obviously that failed. Right? It failed to. All right, it had a nice little channel going on, gap down, came back up, used it as support, pulled back, couldn't get above. There's something at this 109.16 level that Affirm has issues with. The algo is definitely net selling. Right? You can see that pretty clearly there. Pretty clearly. So does the algo come down? We have to look at the block trades at what's going on here, but it is just pulling price action down with it. Lots of block trades on Affirm. Oh, my neck's killing me. Right, there's a dark pull level in the last 5 days. Came in yesterday at the close. Right, is it a buy order or a bunch of sell orders? I think it's in a good position to buy, but looking at what they've been doing, they've been selling this, right? Did they finally say enough's enough and let's sell a bunch of shares and get out of our positions, or is that going to reverse? Okay. Nvidia, Vidi. All right, so we do have bearish divergence on Vidi, right? That's pretty much most of this is already traded out. Currently, the algo is consolidating, right? It's making. It's really hard to see it, but it is consolidating and it's trying to make higher highs and higher lows, right? If it can break above its overhead resistance, it can definitely do a good job of pulling NVIDIA up with it. However, look at our trend lines here. Let's look and see what's going on with VIDI, right? Is this the beginning of a reversal here, right? Or does it come down here and fill this gap at 296? So it gapped up, couldn't get over its overhead resistance, been slowly selling off. Price action is trying to, or the algo is trying to reverse here. All these little divergences in between have traded out, right? And so this is just consolidation in this last little move here. From a block trade perspective, massive amounts of block trades on NVIDIA. I don't have time. Doing pretty good. All right, we have lots of dark pool support coming in at 294. 295 is our support level. We have a dark pool level that came in at the close yesterday at 301.21. Is that a sell order? Is that a buy order? We're going to find out at the bell. Look for the algo to break its overhead resistance. If it fails to do so, right? Look back here for what I'm trying to show you. So see how the algo was trying to break out of its own little wedge. When it did, it pulled price action up with it. That's what we're looking for here. I'm going to put some feelers out. I'm going to put some alerts out. NVIDIA above 305.50. And then I think there's a pretty decent move back up to the upside. It's coming into dark pools at regular block trade support at 299, 300, sorry, 296.50, 298. That's just support. It does have a downside gap that it will need to fill. Okay, SE. All right, and then I want to look at Moderna. I want to look at Google. And then I'm going to check the chat. Is Tesla a good short today? I wouldn't short Tesla. It's scary. Many people have tried to short Tesla, but the algo is just trading with price action and it's uptrending. The algo's, I'm doing Tesla first. The algo is coming up to previous resistance level, right? Ran into it, sold off to support. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in its fifth wave. Watch what happens when the algo gets to this level here. The algo gets to 1123. Okay, right. Price action's way up here. Look at this little algo right there, right at 1200. Right. Fifth wave. Is it going to reverse off of that fifth wave move, or is it going to consolidate? Okay, from block trade perspective on Tesla, oh my gosh, I'm getting good at drawing those lines. Man, nailing those lines. Pretty easy to see what happened here, right? Lots of dark pools coming in. This is like Elon selling a bunch of shares, right? This level here, this 1069, 1075, right? So bunch of sell orders coming in. All right, they gapped up using 1140, 1145, 1144 support. So a bunch of regular and dark pool levels in here. This that came in right here, right? So those are a bunch of buy orders, right? Price action gapped up. People bought into it. Now we're hitting a previous high. Do we sell and pull back, or does it just rip through it? I would use 1200 as that key level. If it rejects, it's going to come back down to its new base. I think 1144, 1145 is Tesla's new base. There is a gap that will need to be filled at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen soon or not, but the algo is definitely uptrending, right? The algo is definitely uptrending. See what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. All right. What were we looking at? SE, Moderna, oh, Tesla. All right. So on SE, the algo is, what is it doing here? All right. So it was uptrending, right? It was making higher highs and higher lows. Anytime you see that kind of a move there, that's bearish. So it hit this level, price started falling. The algo started making lower lows and lower highs. Did it come into support? We will find out. So is it a falling channel breakout on SE? From what I heard, I don't know what's going on with the pre-market, but definitely a little rising wedge there. The algo is moving with it. From a block trades perspective, like massive amounts. Okay. We got some dark pool levels. 224.31, 225.85. Those are the targets, right? Those came in at the close on the 30th. So those came in. Those came in right here. Right, price rallied up to it. They were buying, now they're selling. Okay, so what we want to see is if SE can break out of its own little wedge there. Let me just see what's going on. Yeah, I thought I read something about it. It got clapped. I don't know why it's getting clapped, but looking at it from an algorithm perspective, that algo is going to be pointed down. What did it trade down to? It's 205.86. 205. Whoa, it got clapped. Well, it gap filled. I mean, there you go. It filled its gap. Going into the close, looks like they were trying to start reversing, right off of some key levels of support. I want to see what it does at the open. It's down, what, 7% pre-market. 205. Where does 205 put it? Dude, that's rough. What the hell happened? 205. So we're at our demand zone, right? There's a demand zone right there. Do we get a bounce play or do we get something worse? So what happened? We had a 50-200 cross down, right? Well, the squeeze just fired to the downside, basically. Longer term slingshot squeeze is setting up. Rallied right up to the 21 EMA. It's a downtrending stock, right? Downtrending, rally to the mean, downtrend. So on SE, from the algo perspective, downtrending, rally to the mean, couldn't get above its overhead resistance. The algo started selling. I need to see what happens with the algo here. If it starts pulling back, right? Or does it set up for a longer, like, are they buying this pullback is what I'm asking, right? Is smart money buying into this weakened price action, right? I think it makes sense that that's what they're doing. I do like the watch for the daily 5200 bounce or crossover. If that crosses down, then we're going to need to find some more downside targets, possibly this demand zone down here at 189. So like 190, 195 downside target. Or does it get a nice little reversal here and continue to move to the upside? I'm going to keep an eye on SE today. How am I doing on time? All right, so let's look at SE. Okay. Moderna. So this was an uptrending. This was one of our favorite stocks, right? Uptrending, gap up, fell down. It's a daily cloud support right now. It's trying to make higher highs and higher lows. The algo was, what did the algo do? What did the algo do? So it came right down to trendline resistance, right? I think it would be fair to say that there's a little channel there. And I need to see what happens with the algo. Does it form a left shoulder, head, right shoulder? If it does, I'm definitely going to buy, like I'm going to sell out of my position here on the rally back up to form the algo forming the right shoulder. Okay. So break of 237 for Moderna. So what else we got? Google. So look at this move on Google. So the algo net selling yesterday, right? Big sell off. We got bullish divergence. We got trend line support coming in on Google, right? It's got this long-term overhead resistance that it's going to try to break itself out of, right there. If it can crack that, the algo can pull it back up. I think Google can see pretty significant moves. It does, however, have to take over 29.15 with some conviction, and it can definitely trade in this 29.15 to 29.50 zone. Above 29.50, then it starts to get a little loosey-goosey. So with that being said, block trades for Google last 30 days. So let's just look at the last 5. We've got a dark pool magnet at 234.17. Above 234.17, we've got those overhead resistance for the next move to the upside on DOS Google. Let's look at Google. Okay, I've got about another 5 minutes and I got to go get myself prepped for the day. All right, so massive sell-off yesterday, rallied up, pulled back. It's currently coming up, testing its previous overhead resistance. We got a supply and demand zone magnet at the 200 at 229 or 29.27, 29.27, 29.27, 29.74, 29.34. So there is a dark pool level at 29.34 right there. Dark pool magnet right above that demand zone. I think we get a pretty solid move in Google today. As far as Google is concerned, it's about move on Google for that. Which move? This. Welcome, Ryan. If y'all don't know Ryan, hold on. All right, sorry about that. If y'all don't know Ryan, welcome to the stream, Ryan. Ryan is the divergence master, right? He finds all the sweet divergence plays. He just said about that move on Google for the upside target. We got a 618 retracement right at the 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart, right at that dark pool level, right at our previous demand zone. I like it. I'm in the 3000s at about $1.47. You want some specific targets on DOS Google? Let me give them to you. Okay. This, and I got to go after this. Hold on, Johnny. Let me just do this real quick. Let me do HD, and then I'm going to go into the specific play on Google. Okay. Because it's going to be the freebie, and it's going to be sponsored by Predicted Trades. Home Depot. The algo is really struggling, to be honest with you. Look, it's really having a rough time with it. This looked great, right? Look at that. Looked really good, right? We're like, yay, things are going to go great. Well, then something happened and the algo has been selling off. So it's coming back down to its down. It's trying to finish out its down cycle. If the algo can bounce off of this level here and pull up, it might continue to pull price action up with it. That divergence is pretty gnarly though. So, bet you this support is pretty gnarly too, right? 403. And then 390, 398. just call it 400. So 400 is a nice psychological level, even for Home Depot. Rally pullback. So Wu-Tang reversal yesterday. All right, so from rally high to low, we did a 618 retracement, right? If we reject overhead resistance and the algo continues to pull down, then what we're going to do is we're going to look for this move on HD to come back down to the 50% retracement. Wish I had different colors. This is so much easier with different colors. So we rallied, right? We pulled back to support, quick little pop to overhead resistance. If that breaks, we can continue up. That would mean the algo bounced at this level here. If the algo breaks through its support and pulls price action down with it, then we come back down to at least a 50% retracement. Okay, from a block trade perspective, those block trades should line up pretty well with it, right? We've got a magnet at 410, right? Regular block trade magnet, and a dark pool magnet at 410. Let's just say 410 is your upside target. What happens there, we have to see. So keep an eye on the algo for today. But rally, pull back 618, rally, or reversal, right? Rally, reversal back down to the 50%, 382, and then move back to the upside. All right, Google is going to be the play for the day, and it is sponsored by those fine folks over at Predicted Trades. Okay, so the Google 3000s have been pretty much an ATM money-making machine for the last couple of weeks. They're super liquid and they move really well. Now, if you've never played Google, it's kind of a weird stock. It'll just sit there and not do anything, and then it'll move, right? It respects, it does a really good job of respecting like the 2-minute VWAP, and it does support and resistance. Okay, so on this move that I'm looking at for Google today, keep in mind we've got stack positive moving averages, 821, 34, 50, 200 right off of VWAP, right? MACD crossover, so a little oversold on the RSI, slingshot squeeze released. So the daily rally, pull back to the mean, pull back right to the 21 EMA, closed a little bit below it, hit VWAP. Now we're looking for that reversal to the upside. So we did one of these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, right? That's probably this move right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, there it is. So let's do this. Move, draw a new one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And what that does is it starts us off with a new, potentially new Elliott wave, which could be, this could be the one move, right? Whatever, I don't know what the heck happened there. Regardless, if Google can take out yesterday's high at 29.1263, right? We have a retracement up to the 618, right? That's our upside target. It's a 200, yeah. So 29.30. The Google 29.50s, right? Let me just give you these two plays. Okay. And I'm gonna, when I give you these, you're gonna say thank you. And if you're interested in the service, you're gonna use code dark pool at checkout, 10% off services. Okay, so this trade is sponsored by Predicted Trades. All right. Y'all can see that just fine. So what we're looking to do is we're looking at these Google 3000s entry anywhere from 81 cents to $1.76. Okay. If we get a pullback today, $1.76 should be pretty decent. Okay. Our targets are 245, 287, 372, 478, and 583. Those are upside targets as it's rallying to the 21 or the 200 SMA on the daily. Okay. We have support. We have VWAP support at 28.99. 2900 is a psychological level. It's also the 50-day, 821.34. So we need a pullback in the next 20 minutes on the Google, and we've got the upside targets. From another perspective, there goes Mara. She didn't wait for us. Right, from a Kelt's perspective, right off of the 4-hour bottom, 29.20, right, 4-hour mid target. So if we get a little bit of a pullback, you know, it may be exaggerated because of where the Kelt. Oh, I guess we'd have to look at a different one. So trendline support, right? Look at this. It's just forming a nice little wedge. So we pull back to 28.9650 or 2900 at the open. Target those 3000s. Okay. I have to run. Here it is one more time. Here's the play for the day. The freebie. Those 29. So those entries are the optimal price level for those strikes. Mathematically generated, big math, big brain stuff, right? Computer, like quant computing data that says, hey, this is the optimal entry for this strike's option. This option strike, this strike's price. Okay, gotta go. Take a screenshot if you need it. Those are your target levels. Those 2950s, you know, you get them for $4 and they triple. Life changing. I might look at those 2950s a little stronger today. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me once again. I'm Darkpool Algo. I'm here every morning, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is 5:30 my time, and I'm going for 2 hours, man. I gotta cut this back. Also, I think I'm gonna start streaming for the Bullish Bears again on Tuesdays and Fridays. Streaming the open. If you're interested in that, let me know. We'll get you hooked up. If you have any suggestions for t-shirts, put them in the comment section below. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on those notifications on your way out the door. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay green, and I'll see you in the Discords. Bye now.